Hi, and welcome back to Taking E with Mike and JD. I'm JD.
And I'm Mike.
And today we're going to be going through how we think the NFC is going to shape up this year for 2023. So the first division we have here is for the NFC East. So how do you see this shaping up?
I see the Eagles taking it out. I think there's no reason to see why they won't be great again this year. I think the Cowboys will improve. I've got them in second, and then Giants and Commanders at the bottom.
Yeah, we have the exact same division. It's Philly's division for the next couple of years. I think Dallas is really the only team that can kind of threaten them right now. I think New York is okay, and Washington is supposed to have a good defense, but we'll see. They're also going with a second-year quarterback. So it's Philly's division, really, for the next couple of years. They just locked up Jalen Hurts, who had a great year last year. So Philly, Dallas, New York, Washington. I can see Dallas poking their heads for that division, but I think Dallas is pretty safely probably a wild card team. All right.
I agree.
So our next one here is the NFC North. So I wonder who's going to win this division in Mike's.
So, all right. This is obviously going to seem like a homer pick, but I do have the Packers winning the division. I mean, I've always been probably higher on what I've seen from Jordan Love than others, and not so much because we have until this preseason we hadn't seen a lot of Jordan Love, but we're also around that he looks like someone that can follow a game plan. And one of my biggest criticisms, amongst other things about Aaron Rodgers in the last few years, is that I don't think at any time he was running the plays that LaFleur was calling. I mean, it was admitted as much that that's the case, and I just think there's enough talent on offense. I think the defense is going to be really good, and if Love just makes the plays that are there and doesn't throw the ball down the field all the time and play hero ball, they can do well enough. And I don't think they're going to be dominant. I think they'll make the playoffs. I don't think they're going to do too much in that in this first year. But I also don't think teams like the Lions are going to be as good as everyone else thinks they're going to be. So I've got the Packers and the Lions, the Vikings and the Bears on the bottom because I think Justin Fields sucks, and I don't know why everyone's trying to convince themselves otherwise.
So I did pick Detroit to win. I think they're kind of the sexy, sneaky pick to win. I mean, that team under Dan Campbell, they just love playing for the guy. And so when you have a coach where players want to go in and play for them, it seems like always a great situation. So I predicting Detroit to win the division, and then I have Minnesota finish second, and then Green Bay in third. I think Minnesota and Green Bay will be basically the same. I think Minnesota right now has the better offense, and Green Bay has a better defense. And I say that because we haven't seen a lot of Jordan Love. It's kind of funny to say, this is a fourth-year rookie. He hasn't, he's been in the league this will be his fourth year, and he's kind of still a rookie, basically. He hasn't really gotten to play consistently. So Detroit, Minnesota, and then, like you said, Chicago. I think Justin Fields is an okay quarterback, but I don't think he's like a franchise guy. So right now, they're a last place team, in my opinion.
I mean, to be fair to Justin Fields, for a running back, I think he throws the ball quite well. I think he does.
All right, so then next we have is the NFC South.
Panthers, Saints, Falcons, and Buccaneers.
Yeah, this is not a very good division. A lot of these teams kind of suck. This might be. It seems like almost every year recently, like in the last 15 years, that the NFC South team, might be those kind of teams that finish 8-9, a losing record, and still somehow win their division. So, yeah, I also picked Carolina, but it's because they're kind of winner by default in the sense that I think everybody else is probably worse than them. So I went Carolina, New Orleans, Atlanta, Tampa Bay. So we basically picked them the same. New Orleans does have future Hall of Fame quarterback David.
Well, that did tempt me to have them winning the division. So it was very hard to. I just don't think even the magic of Derek Carr can get him there.
Yeah, this is again, the NFC South will have a great team every couple of years, like Tampa Bay had been the last few years. But Tampa Bay, they fell off with Tom Brady last year. They now have Baker Mayfield as their quarterback, which, yes, he beat the Steelers in the playoffs. The Steelers really hurt themselves, but he's kind of he's not a great quarterback. He's kind of this quarterback that can make these nice plays, but he's basically he's a loser. I don't mean to sound mean, but he's a losing quarterback. I like his tenacity and his grit. He played with a pulled shoulder. He went out there for Cleveland. He did get screwed over in Cleveland. Don't get me wrong. It's just he's not a guy you really call on when you need a big win. I mean, it was just 1 year, and outside of that, kind of, I think he makes poor decisions. So I think he's a stopgap in Tampa Bay until next year when they draft a quarterback. So,
yeah, no, I agree. I just said it very plain the way he's a loser.
I could have worded that better, but I just don't think.
But he is a loser, both in terms of.
I don't mean it in you would call somebody a loser on a playground. I just mean that he loses games. He's not
fucking no-hoper.
Yeah. So, all right. So that is the South. So how do you have the NFC West shaping
up? Look, 49ers. To be honest, I did toss up between 49ers and Seahawks. I feel like Seahawks are going to definitely be a lot better than they were. But I did go 49ers. I think that depends a lot on Brock Purdy. If I don't know if he's good or not. I don't know if, but the offense they have, how good they looked with Christian McCaffrey in there, and probably once again, someone that's had injury troubles. It's also going to depend on if he stays healthy or not. But yeah, I went 49ers, Seahawks, Rams, and Cardinals.
Yeah, that's basically this is another division where we have the same guys. Like you said, I think this is a bigger year for Brock Purdy than his rookie year. He was kind of this. He almost didn't have a lot of pressure on him last year because he played on a really good team. I mean, he put up numbers, but he had an all-time defense that was playing for him. So, if he made mistakes, his defense could pick him up. And then he won a playoff game. He went into Philadelphia and he got hurt. So I will be interested to see if he's the same quarterback. Now, he's going up against a pretty good defense in Week 1 in Pittsburgh. I think this might be a game that ends 18-14 or 20-10 or so. I don't think the winning team scores much more than 20 points. But I am interested to see how Brock Purdy now, as the starter, the face of the franchise as a quarterback, how well he can play. But yes, so Los Angeles is still kind of in this weird middle ground, and the Cardinals, with their quarterback troubles now, they have Josh Dobbs starting Week 1. I just don't, and they lost, one of the best wide receivers. I just don't think that they're that good this year either. So, San Fran, Seattle, Los Angeles, and Arizona.
Yeah, perfect.
All right, so thank you for watching. Please leave a comment down below who you think will win in the NFC. If you haven't yet, please consider subscribing, and thank you for watching. Have a nice day.
Thanks, guys.